What is up, people YouTube? It is I, Super Mariozilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we're going to take a look at the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Magneto. Magneto was revealed randomly sometime after Wolverine. Not too many collectors were too terribly excited for this guy, not even the fans of the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech line. Is Magneto a pleasant surprise, or did Kaiyodo care just as much as the fans did? You know the drill, let's dive right in. Like the previous figures, this figure was sculpted by Yamaguchi Katsuhisa. I am really sorry if I mispronounced that name. And he did a great job with Magneto's sculpt. And his paint is arguably the best in the line. The head sculpt looks pretty sweet, definitely has that Magneto old man look, and the helmet has some nice details, but it is a bit warped, so that kinda sucks. The pecs have a really nice sculpt, and there's paint shading in the crevices of all the muscles to make the figure pop. Pretty neat. The abs also have a very nice sculpt to them, no complaints there. The arms have a bulky, muscular sculpt, and they look pretty cool. The gloves are nicely detailed, not bad, and the purple paint is surprisingly clean. The trunks have a very wrinkly sculpt and it looks pretty nice. The legs have a muscular sculpt and they look awesome. And like before, we do get the paint shading on the legs. The boots have a nice satin purple, which looks really nice. The cape does have a nice sculpt on all the segments, but let's be real, the sculpt is not so nice when separated. Articulation section, hint hint. You know what else isn't nice? This irritating chunk of plastic! What the hell? Why does this have to be here? There's no reason for it to be there! It's only there for cape support, but you could have had that anyway with just a plain back of the figure. Most of the sculpt, minus the obvious sacrifices for articulation, is good. And the paint I don't find bad either. But those other issues are bleh. So Magneto's articulation surprisingly does have some limitations that can sometimes ruin the aesthetic as much as the aesthetics are already ruined. But you know, it's Revoltech. They do it on a purpose to give you the most plausibility out of their figures. However, some joints I do have to question even for Revoltech. So let's get started, shall we? Head is on a ball hinge. Well, swivel hinge. Can move this far up, this far down. Looks side to side. Just be careful because these sides of the helmet can get caught on the shoulder pads. And has some play. The neck is on a ball joint. However, compared to Wolverine, it doesn't have too much range of movement. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. Shoulder pads are on ball joints. That way they can help you block the ugliness that is the shoulder joints. But the shoulder joints function like all the Revoltechs we had so far. Ratchety because they're like double jointed, kind of. Can move this far up, this far down. Can move this far forward, which is really good. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Elbows are also on swivel hinges. They have this much range, which is pretty good. And you also swivel, so they act as your bicep swivel. And like Wolverine, push this joint. And there you go. No gaps. Really good. Ab crunch. Magneto can crunch about this forward, which is really good. And he can crunch about this back, which is decent. It's decent. It's not great, but it is decent. Oops, I almost forgot. Hands are also on swivel hinges. I almost forgot about that, guys. Legs are on swivels. No, I'm not joking. You heard me right. They're on swivels. Swivels. Instead of ball joints like the previous Revoltech figures, it's on swivel. Really? 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 They move about this far forward, this far back, which is good, but no leaning to the side. Well, not leaning, no splits. In order to get splits, you have to move it all the way forward and then play with the thigh swivel to make it look like he's doing splits, which honestly does not make any sense to me. It should have been like Deadpool's. Deadpool's was fine. This, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it, honestly. So leg joints, hit or miss. Knees on a hinge. However, they are knee pads, so you can block the gaps. It's on a swivel hinge, just like the knees. Pretty good. Swivel hinge for the feet, so his feet can move about this far down, this far forward, and we have the ankle rocker, which is really good, as always. And there are toe joints, but mine is loose. However, this one is stiff. And cannot really move at all, unless if I want to break it. That is lovely. Alright, the cape. Obviously, everybody's been hating this cape, and I can understand why. Because, you know, if you do not know how to play with capes, these capes, and hide the gaps, it's going to look really ugly, like this. Some shots like this, you know, you don't see it too much, but still. There are even extra sockets to put the cape into, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, this one cape hinges right here, this cape hinges right here, and this cape hinges right here. And same thing for this cape, hinges right here and hinges right here. But all the other joints that hinge can also swivel. Whether you like this cape or not is up to you. What do I think? I think it should have been... Yep, and it's also easy to follow the joints. I honestly think it should have been cloth because, honestly, while it is sometimes fun to pose this cape around, it can sometimes be a hassle in order to hide the gaps. And sometimes when you want Magneto to stand, this cape is going to drive you nuts. Because it makes him back heavy. That's how heavy this cape is. I don't know how you make 5 hunks of plastic so heavy. This is why me and some other people have been saying it should have been a cloth cape. So, you know what? It is what it is. I see what they were going for, but the execution leaves a lot to be desired. So if they do this again, let's hope that they can improve. So Magneto's articulation, pretty limited for Revoltech. However, is it bad? Not necessarily, but if you do know how to play with Revoltech figures, you're going to definitely get Magneto in a ton of crazy poses. However, the leg joints and the thigh swivel can be a bit troublesome, especially with the cape. Because this cape, again, it makes him back heavy. There are ways to work around it. That way he can actually move forward. So that's good. So articulation will... It gets a... It's pretty good. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty good. It's amazing for Revoltech. But, you know, some joints should have been worked out a little bit better. Magneto stands a bit over 6.5 inches. A decent size for Magneto. Here he is with the SH Figuarts Captain America and Tony Stark. Here he is with the SH Figuarts Black Panther and Ant-Man. Here he is with the Marvel Legends Carnage and Doctor Strange. Here he is with the Marvel Legends Speed Demon and Beetle. And finally, here he is with the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Deadpool, Spider-Man, Venom, and Wolverine. All of them look great together. In case you want Magneto in a display, you got it. Magneto doesn't really come with a whole lot. I don't count the cape as an accessory. First is an alternate head without the helmet with the teeth gritted face. You can switch the faces if you so wish, or display Magneto holding his helmet. He also comes with a tool to move the eyes. Yes, this is one of those figures with articulated eyes. And honestly, it's a pain in the ass. Getting the tool to move them is not the problem. It's getting them to the right position you want is the problem. Because you have to be so precise with this, and the eyes tend to jump wherever they want because they sometimes get stuck. So yeah, that is a pain. Next, he comes with 2 fist hands that were on him in the package. And 2 open hands with pegcles. Yeah, that's all the hands. Pretty light, to be honest. Next, he has these really cool magnetism effects. And they are actually magnetic, which is really cool. So keep this away from data holding devices. They peg into the open hands with ease. Last, he comes with his Revoltech stand and the clip for said stand. However, instead of pegging the stand to his back, you have to peg it into the bottom of this plastic chunk. Because without the stand, while he has the cape posing, this figure is useless. And the cape is so heavy sometimes and can weigh down the stand. Not good. This really should have been a cloth cape. But no, they decided to waste plastic for no reason. Honestly, he does come with the accessories he would need. It's the price that hurts, honestly. But if you are creative and good with photos, you'll definitely get plenty of displays out of this guy. So, buy, don't buy, or wait for a sale. Magneto is the same as the other figures. Sacrifice sculpt for extreme poses, but still very expensive for its own good. The cape does warrant it a little bit, but that's up to you if you're willing to spend that much. Do you like posing your figures and taking pics and don't mind to sacrifice the aesthetics? Then this figure is for you. If you're a big Magneto fan and like what you see, this is probably for you as well. Otherwise, don't buy it if you're not too crazy about extreme poses, and don't like sacrifice sculpt. I'll give Magneto a 7.5 out of 10. Well, that's it. Thanks guys and gals so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you would like to be updated on when new videos goes up, be sure to subscribe. If you want to be notified when new videos go live, be sure to hit that bell icon. And if you want some behind the scenes stuff, be sure to follow me on Instagram. Link to it is down below. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.